Jury in the YSL RICO trial returned for the first time since rapper Young Thug was released from jail. Two defendants now remain on trial in the case. Shannon Stillwell and DeMonte Kendrick rejected the state's plea offers last week. Today, jurors heard testimony from an Atlanta rapper who performed with the defendants, the medical examiner, and a police detective.
New at 5, only Channel 2 Action News is hearing from Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis about the dramatic conclusion to the gang racketeering case against rapper Young Thug last week. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie's live inside the Fulton County Courthouse. And Mark, you actually asked the district attorney if it was worth all the trouble.
You know, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office says this is the grand jury room where the YSL indictment was returned against Young Thug and others, where the criminal prosecution began. And now she's talking about the way his case ended, though the YSL case itself is not over.
Any regrets? Was it worth all the trouble?
It's always worth the trouble. The reality is, as you know, I have aggressively prosecuted gang violence, and there is no one above or below the law.
Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis says though she did not agree on a deal for a plea with attorneys for Jeffrey Williams, better known as megastar hip-hop artist Young Thug, she's choosing not to publicly voice whether she agrees or disagrees with the sentence. Fulton Superior Court Judge Paige Reese Whitaker.
Sentencing was in the hands of Judge Whitaker.
Handed down after Williams entered a non-negotiated plea in which he pled guilty to every charge he faced in the YSL case, except for two to which he pled nolo contendere, or no contest, which he says is similar to a guilty plea, except when it comes to civil lawsuits.
You poured a lot of resources, took a lot of flack on this case.
You shouldn't be the district attorney if you're not willing to take flack. The reality is the world has been caught up with one defendant, but we indicted 28 defendants. 14 of those defendants are now disposed of cases. We have 14 more defendants to go, and so we are going to continue to pursue justice in that case.
Ms. Willis says though Young Thug exited the Fulton County Jail soon after his plea in a car driven by one of his attorneys, he had already done a substantial amount of time in jail while awaiting or going through his trial.
He's been in jail almost 3 years, so that is not a walk in the park.
She says there is room for accountability in the complicated sentence involving 5 years commuted time served, followed by 15 years probation, to be followed by a, quote, backloaded 20-year prison term, which will also be commuted to time served if he successfully completes the probation, which is loaded with lots of special conditions.
Hope springs eternal that he will do well, because if not, he's going to land himself in prison for another 20 years.
The DA says video from gang murder cases unrelated to Williams we reported on last week underscores that gangs are a major driver of crime here. Now, the DA's office says Atlanta police crime stats show some key violent crime categories are down as of October 7th compared to roughly the same time in 2022.